Hey guys, I'm Mike Burns for Severne Windsurfing North America, and today we're going to go over the brand new redesign for 2024 Severne Freek. Now, it's important to note that Severne does not push products to market that have not changed for the better and the goal of that design. So if the product hasn't developed and hasn't changed, and they're always trying to change their stuff around, but if it hasn't improved in performance or quality, it's just going to stay in the development phase. So the last time we actually saw the Severne Freek, the new design come to market, was 2020. So that was 4 years ago. So they've been developing this new Freek for about 4 years now. And what has popped out of the Severne Sail Loft is just simply amazing. So the 2024 Freek, it's a freestyle sail. It was designed for freestyle. But what we need to realize is that the Freek, as it always has been, is really, really good for the majority of the wind population, the windsurfing population. Whether you're a bump and jump sailor or a freestyler, freestylers will be amazed by this sail. The other great thing about the Freek is it is a tighter leach sail. The tighter the leach on the sail, generally the more power that sail is going to produce. So for foiling, windsurf foiling, the Freek is an incredible sail. So you can pick up this one sail and just use it for freestyle. I'll hand it off to Chrissy for she goes free ride blast and she has zero interest in freestyle. But I have every single sail in the range in the trailer, and guess which one Chrissy picks out the most? Chrissy's my wife. She will pick out the Freek almost every time. So she loves her 5.9 Freek. She commented how nice the new 5.2 is. She said it felt smoother, it feels more powerful, and she simply likes it better. So that's the Freek. That's for everybody. That said, it is a freestyle sail. We're going to talk some freestyling. All right, so what's the difference between the previous generation Freek and the new Freek? So like I kind of touched on just a second ago, the new Freek you will find a little bit more power in, a little more low-end power. I'm going to say the overall wind range is rough. It'll cover the same amount of miles per hour. I would say the new Freeks just dropped a mile an hour or two with the sail you're going to use in that same range. So for example, last spring and through the winter before I got the new Freeks, I was dialed in when it was 22 miles per hour on the meter in the Avon Sound there. I was on my 4.8, very dialed, and I could go through the repertoire of tricks, pretty much everything in the books, but it had to be 22. I could kind of get planing in 20, 21, but not like good power to do other stuff. With the new sails, I have power. Like I can get going in 20 real easy, and like 2021, I'm throwing burners and loops and all that stuff. So it's about a 2 mile an hour difference in wind range from the previous generation Freeks. At least that's what I'm finding for myself. So they did get a little more power. Stability wise, they're just as stable as the previous generation Freaks. So like and that's the great thing, and that's why people love this sail just for kind of general use in windsurfing, whether it's bump and jump, freestyle, or foiling. Now the physical design of the Freek, and this is kind of why they redesigned the sail for 2024, is they've been implementing the gradient panel technology across most of the sails in the Severne range. The gradient panel technology, basically, they're strengthening up the sail in the areas that need strengthened. This has kind of been, from day one with their mission, is to how do we reduce weight while also maintaining a good quality product that's going to last you. So the gradient panel technology is like another step onto what they've already built, as they've been developing sails along the way. And this basically is aligning the seams of the sail and reinforcing the seams in the areas with the most load, along the load paths of the sail. So for instance, when you're downhauling a sail, there's an awful lot of tension going from the top of the mast to the bottom of the foot of the sail. So they've kind of beefed up those areas along the top and the bottoms of the sail, maybe double, tripled up those layers of X-ply or the stitching. And the idea of that is to get your sails to last longer, because all sails, it doesn't matter what kind of material it's made out of, over time, eventually they'll stretch out of shape and not feel as good as they did when they were new, kind of like a tennis ball. You know, kind of you bounce the ball and it loses its bounce after you use it so many times. So they developed this gradient panel technology to help you keep your sails for a longer period of time. That said, when you start relaying the panels, it kind of throws off a little bit what you already had put into the sail because they stretch in slightly different ways. And you have to redevelop the sails. So that's why the new Freek was redeveloped, and they did spend quite some time on this. They were thinking about launching it actually last year, but it just needed a little bit extra in some of the sizes. So instead of putting it to market just to meet some kind of deadline, which is something Severne doesn't do, there are no deadlines on their products to meet. They just make it until they feel it's the best they can do and make sure it's better than the last model. And when it happens, that's when it goes to product launch, and that's when you guys start to see it in the stores. So the new gradient panel technology is in the new Freeks. And that said, what changed with the performance of the sail other than a little boost in the lower end? So in the new sail, what we're seeing is actually it pulls a little bit more forward in the sail, which is really kind of cool feeling. And that's not to say when you're sailing along, you feel constant front arm pressure. When you load up for tricks and when you are, you know, or doing like a shocker or a loop or something, the front of the sail will load up more and be more powerful than the previous generation sail. So what that means in your trick is you go higher. You can do it in less wind because it's more elastic. It's got that elasticity to it. So you're going higher, you're doing more powerful tricks, and that's pretty apparent from the first time you tune the Freek correctly and get on that sail. So let's dig into some of the technology into the sail. We already talked about the gradient panel technology, but like Severne has always done, they put the heavy-duty materials in the places you need it so that you can lighten up other areas that aren't necessarily, you know, going to be impacted. So why would you want like the full-on X-ply 10 feet in the air at the top of your sail, just weighing it down? That's the place where you really need the lightest material you can find, and monofilm is the crispest, lightest, most high-performance material that you can build a windsurfing sail with. That's why you see all the PWA racing sails in the top are monofilm sails. You'll notice along the luff panel, there's kind of a multi-luff panel there, and those are Dacron, and those are Dacron because those are a flexi material, and that is part of the magic of how the Freek works, because the front of the sail stretches deeper than the body of the sail. So when you start getting wound up and you're starting to get overpowered, the front of the sail will actually stretch deeper than the back, so that helps relieve that backhand pressure. Then you move down to the foot of the sail, and at the foot of the sail we always have that nice rubber grommet material along the bottom of the sail to help keep from chafing on the board and the seam kind of fraying over time. And then my favorite part is always you move down to the rollers on the sail, and this is a change for 2024 because the Cyclops extension has become so popular. If you don't know what the Cyclops extension from Severne is, everybody's kind of in tune with the loop and go outhaul systems now. So Severne, I think it was 2018-ish or so, came out with a loop and go downhaul, and this is like the easiest. Well, once you use a Cyclops, you will not want to use anything else to downhaul your sail, because think in your head, if I could just go loop and go my outhaul, remember how much easier that got than stringing it through? It's the same deal with the loop and go downhaul. So the pulleys on the sail now, the downhaul pulleys, have a little roller in the middle that helps you separate the Cyclops. If you have an old type of extension that's not the Cyclops, you just loop it through twice and go. You get plenty of leverage with two go-rounds. And at the bottom of every Severne sail is this handy dandy hex 4 tool. It's stored right up inside the sail next to the pulleys, and what this little guy does is it can tighten the battens, so you can retension the battens. It tightens your foot strap screws, and you also use the same tool to change in and out your fins. So this one little tool, the hex 4 tool, is all you need. There's no screwdrivers necessary. You just use this one tool that comes with all the boards and sails in the range to get on the water and also adjust everything while you're on the water. And I found it comes in really handy because when you're out there, it's a real pain to have to go all the way back to the car to dig through your stuff, find a screwdriver to tighten a foot strap screw that might have came loose. This is already there. You just take it out, tighten it up, put it back in, and you're already going. Then after you spent a long day in your foot straps that are already tight with your nice tight battens, you get tired and you want to go back to the car and you're chilling with your buddies and you're having a beer and somebody forgot the beer bottle opener, but no worries because the hex tool is also a beer opener. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked what I got for you for the Severne Freek, and cheers. I'll see you at the beach in Hatteras.